Hello guys, welcome back. I'm working on a 2014 Nissan Altima. It's a CVT transmission. This guy's been having problems with, and I want to show you some of the typical problems that this transmission is having. The transmission was running, but the RPMs were going woo, 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 woo. It wasn't constant. It will go high and drop, high and drop. The RPMs were not constant, and it had a couple of transmission codes. I didn't write them down. I didn't take the transmission out of the car. Somebody else did, and they didn't write down the codes. But one of the codes that got my attention is the P17FO. And once you see that code, once that code pop in your transmission, then most likely you're gonna need a new transmission. But I was trying to save this guy some work. As you can see, this is the original filter. The filter was collapsing, and it's got a little bit of metal in it. So this filter is clogged up. It was right here in front of it. The filter goes in here, and this is the housing, and it's held on by 4 bolts. So once I pulled the filter and I look at it and it was collapsing, then I thought maybe we could save this transmission. So I went ahead and put a new filter, and as you can see, it was already getting filled up with debris. Even some shiny metal, fine metal. The problem with this transmission is that once this filter gets clogged up, it'll starve your transmission from fluid, and it'll destroy your transmission and the inside. I already removed the converter. One thing I can tell you is I noticed that this transmission was lacking fluid. I don't have the converter. I send it as a core, and I ordered a new one, but I want to show you. I got a converter over here. If you can see this converter right here, this converter is turned blue. It looks blue, dark color. Sometimes it'll turn blue, red, and black. That means the converter is being overheated, and they get overheated because they starving from fluid and they get burned up. So if you pull out your transmission and your converter is blue, dark color, purple, then that converter is done. So this is not the converter for this transmission. This is from another transmission that the filter was clogged up too. And this is very typical in these transmissions. If you can catch it on time, if you can replace this filter on time, you will be saving your transmission. Replace this filter, drain the fluid, pull this oil pan, and there's a filter over here too that you don't have to replace it. You can just clean it. It's a metal filter. You'll see it once I started getting it apart. But with that being said, let's go ahead and start taking things apart and see what we're gonna find. Like I said, it was running. It was just it was running, but it was shuddering. It shuddered. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna remove these this oil pan, and it's gonna tell you. The oil pan is gonna tell us a lot about the transmission. let's see what we find in here. As you can see, we got some metal right here. We got some metal right here too. We definitely have a lot of metal. Look at this. So once you find metal, this is not too bad. I've seen some that are like beyond repair. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the ball body. A lot of times it's not worth trying to fix them because once this metal gets into the ball body, you're not gonna be able to clean it. You have to get another ball body. Once this metal gets into the transmission, the galleries, it's not gonna work because that metal is gonna flow back to the ball body and it's gonna mess it up. And once the CVT is damaged, the CVT is useless. You have to get a new replacement for the CVT, and it's really hard to find parts for this transmission. So a lot of the times they're not even worth fixing them. This is not too bad, so we're gonna inspect it and see what we can do with it. You see that fluid? That fluid hasn't been changed in a while. You see all that debris right there, all that metal? It's got a lot of metal in it. I can guess that this transmission has it's got at least 150,000 miles. Yeah. So we're gonna remove the ball body. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't, but oh my God. Damn it. In order to remove the ball body, we're gonna remove all of the bolts that have the number 7. You can see they got the number 7, so we're gonna remove all of them, and we're gonna remove this nut too. So, and that way we don't have to take apart the ball body. So we're gonna remove all the 10 millimeters with the number 7 on it. And make sure when you're gonna put it back together, make sure, because there's some that are shorter than the others, so make sure you know the order. See, these are the same. They go in here. These are the same. All of them. All of them with the number 7 and these 2 nuts. No, never mind. Not the nuts. Don't take off the nuts. I forgot. Yeah. So just make sure. See, this is a little. Nah. This is the same. This is the same. This is the same. See, this is shorter. Note where the short ones go. I think there's like 2 or 3 short ones. Can't remember where they at. So we got one short one here, and then we got the 2 short ones that go here, and then we got the ones for the filter, which is 2 short and 1 long, but it's shorter than the rest of them. So make sure you keep them together. This is for your filter. This is for the filter, so make sure you keep them somewhere else. Okay, we're gonna remove all of these. Let me see. Oh, I forgot to remove this one right here. This is your parking pole. And we're gonna remove it. This video might be a little long, guys. Kind of slow, but that's the complete. This is the complete valve body. It don't seem too bad, but we're gonna keep inspecting the rest of the transmission. And as you can see, that's your CVT right there. These are your input clutches. Here we have your oil pump. A lot of times all that metal gets into the pump and the boost valve gets hung, and it'll start acting up. Your transmission will start acting up. But like I said, once you get that code 17F0, that's it. Your transmission has to come out. As you can see, they try different things. They try to put sensors that don't even belong there. The sensor, look. You gotta be careful when you're taking this out, because these sensors, see, it's all broken. These sensors are pretty expensive. So before you take anything out, remove the sensors. It's got 3 sensors. Just remove them, that way you don't break them. Otherwise you end up paying out of pocket. And they're like, see, even this one is damaged. They don't have any specific position. They're actually the same. All 3 are the same. You can put them anywhere. Okay, so that's the valve body. We're gonna remove the bell housing and start taking everything apart. Let me flip it over. And the bell housing is held on by a bunch of 14mm bolts. Don't forget to remove this seal. If you want, you can forward. All I'm doing is removing all these bolts. I think I got all of them except one. This one right here. We're gonna have to do that with a wrench. I'm missing another bolt. Should be another bolt. It's right here. So we're gonna pry it on the bell housing. Make sure you don't have any bolts left. There's some places that you can pry it out. Let me see. Right here. This is gonna be kind of hard because usually the dowel pins like to stick in it, and it's kind of hard. Let's take it off. I did with my spatula. I'm making a mess over here. Sorry about that, guys. I wasn't quite ready for the assembly. So we're gonna remove the bell housing out. Just be careful not to pry out where the surfaces meet each other. That way you don't damage the bell housing. I hate when this happens. Yeah, there's the guy. The guy's stuck. That's your bell housing. And these are your final drive right here. These are your gears. So we're gonna remove the differential. When you're putting this back together, guys, if you get in parts, make sure you got the right parts. Every CVT is different, and the gear ratio varies from transmission to transmission. So make sure you put the correct one. Oh. This mechanic that removed the transmission did not remove the CV shaft. See if I can get a cable one. This is the kind of work that I have to deal with. How are you gonna put this CV shaft back together? My goodness. I cannot even imagine this guy working on this car like this. Anyway, so here's your differential. Make sure that when you're putting it together, as you can see, it's got marks. See, it's got 1, 2 marks, and this one has 1, 2 marks too. So that's the pair. Now we're gonna remove this baffle right here. Remove this baffle. It's got like 10mm right here. Okay, now we gotta remove the pump gears. Let me see. This is kind of tricky over here. Let's see if I can remove these gears. There's a safety pin in it, and it's kind of hard to get it off. But when you taking your pump gears apart, make sure you put them the way they came out. So we're gonna remove this baffle, and then we're gonna remove the stator. These are 12 millimeters. Oh shit. A 12 millimeter right there. And now we're gonna leave this at the end. We're gonna remove the stator and the parking pole. Okay. It's gonna be a bunch of 12 millimeters. Ah. Okay. Oh no. We'll get to it. We gotta remove the pump. Excuse me, the stator. Stator. And now we're gonna remove this set of clutches right here. Okay. Let's see. It's kind of tricky trying to get these out of here. Sorry guys, I was not prepared for this. There it comes. Okay. There it is. Now we're gonna remove this. This is like your input drum. This is what's gonna drive your transmission to begin with. The input drum will start moving the transmission, and after what we're gonna say first gear, the CVT takes over. And these clutches right here, they never burn up. Never. Never seen them burn up. We got clutches for this drum left and right, and I have never seen them burn up. What it burns is the CVT itself, and these other set of clutches, I've never seen them burn up either. they never burn up. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna remove this spring and we're gonna remove this piston. And down there, there's your CVT down there. Okay. I keep losing my 10mm, and I don't even know how. Alright, so let's move the parking pole. Parking pole. And we're gonna remove the pump now. It's held on by this hex right here. So we're gonna take this pump out of here. It's 6 mil. And there's your pump right there. What did I miss? Oh, it's got another. Yeah, it's got another port right here. It's got a 10 mil in the back. Or not. Okay. To 12mm. Just remember that goes with your pump. And there's your pump. And over here it's got the flow control valve. If there's some debris, the flow control valve gets cut up. It gets cut right here and it won't move. And a lot of times that's why it'll throw that code, because there's no flow, there's no pressure. Let me open it up. Let me open it up and see if the valve is stuck. Could be that the valve's stuck. It's stuck in there. So that'll cost. Damn. Man. Oh, you see? This valve's stuck in there. And you can see a lot of wear, a lot of damage by the metal shavings. This valve should be able to move back and forth, but it was stuck. So that's why the transmission was acting up. But this valve is no good. I don't know if the housing is good. I can't really tell. It feels good in there. But this valve is not good anymore. So if you try to put this back together and you don't replace this valve, they sell you a replacement valve, an updated valve. But if you try to put it back together and you leave that in there, you're gonna have all kinds of issues. So that's a big no-no. That's what I'm saying. A lot of times you gotta replace the pump, you gotta replace the valve body, you gotta replace the CVT. So by the time you add everything up, by the time you add it up, it's just like, damn, it's not even worth fixing this transmission. So we're gonna remove that spring. Just be careful, because this can pop up. What do you guys say with the seat? I think I'm like way over there. And that spring should come out. There you go. So this is the spring that holds your piston down. It returns the piston back. Ah, shit. Messed it up. Sorry, guys. Got a lot of transmission fluid in my mouth. We can leave it there. Let me see if I can just remove the CVT from the back. Comes from the back anyway. So we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna remove the CVT from the back. And we're gonna remove all these 14 millimeters right here. Don't remove this right here. That'll drop your CVT in there. And then it's kind of hard to put it back together once it drops. There's a way that you can take it off. We should be able to pop this out. There's some prying. 3. Trying to see if I missed something. The guys are stuck in there. Might have to pause you for a minute. Something else is holding it back. Should be able to come out. Damn it. Damn it. It's kind of hard to get it off, guys. I'll have to pause you for a minute and fight it. Dowel pins get hung up in there. It's just kind of hard to get it off. Don't remember. still fighting. I'm still fighting this thing. There it is. It came out. Shit, I should have never taken that off. And that is your CVT. And a lot of the times this band wears out, and when it wears out, it won't grab these drums right here. This is what makes your gear ratio. These drums work with pressure. They go up and down, squeezing and tighten up the belt, and that's how you get your gear ratio. This is your primary and your secondary drum. So we're gonna leave it right there. The belt seems like it's got a lot of wear. The pump is, the valve's hung up. The converter is burned up. And the valve body, we're gonna have some issues with the valve body, I think. But this is it for now, guys. If you like this video and it's helpful for you, just like and subscribe. Sorry about that. I was fighting the whole thing.